All right, music fans, it's December, and you know what that means. The big publications have spoken. NPR, The Fader, Pitchfork, Line of Best Fit, they've all dropped their end-of-year album lists. And once again, the internet is collectively screaming, who actually agrees with this? So today I'm breaking down the best and the worst of these lists, where they got it right, where they went off the rails, and why ranking at the end of the day is just like arguing about pizza toppings. Totally subjective and impossible to win. So let's start with NPR. And I'll say it, NPR's list is probably the most pure-hearted of the bunch. No rankings, no numbers, just, hey, we love these albums. And you know what? I respect it. They included some killer albums that just missed my own list, including JPEGMAFIA's I Lay Down My Life for You, Mustafa's Dunya album, and Rosie Tucker's Utopia Now. Plus, NPR always broadens my horizons, genreless, worldly, and very much for the adventurous music fan. But, and this is a big but, some of these choices felt a little bit premature. Kendrick Lamar's GNX album literally dropped like 2 minutes ago. And can we call it the best without really giving it that time it deserves and living with it? And look, I love a little pop moment. I've been a pop girly this year. But Sabrina Carpenter on here and with no Billie Eilish, Billie gave us something that was pushing boundaries artistically, while Sabrina's album, it was very fun, but also very safe. And yeah, NPR's list can be chaotic. Concerto to hardcore punk to Afrobeats. It's for the extreme music lovers, not your casual Spotify shufflers. Now, the Line of Best Fit, I've got to hand it to them. This list is pretty digestible. It's not overwhelming, it's likable, and they actually spotlight some very underrated gems from this year. Shout out to them for including Heinz and A Rouge Off Top, both albums that absolutely pushed the needle this year. But then, we see this. How is Camila Cabello's album on any list? I listened to it and I still don't know what she wanted this album to be. It's muddled, confused, there's nothing stand out about it. Meanwhile, Billie Eilish is still out here like crickets. Nothing. She's not on this list. The Fader, though, does a solid job of balancing diversity with accessibility. This list is for people expanding their music taste without diving headfirst into the chaos. Love the shout-outs to the women in R&B and Afrobeats this year. Tyla and Thames are killing it. But there's one huge glaring omission here. Doechii is one of the most talented rappers out there right now, and yet every other rapper on this list is a man. What are we doing here, Fader? And their number one album of the year was by an artist named Skywater. I literally had to Google them. It's giving hipster vibes, and I'm sorry, but I'm not fully convinced. Pitchfork. The list that makes me question my entire existence as a music lover every year. Every year, I think I've heard everything. And then Pitchfork drops albums I've never seen, heard of, or could even pronounce. And like NPR, there's no cohesion. It's just chaos. But instead of like, we love everything, it's giving that vibe of like, we're smarter than you. Which, you know what, maybe you are, Pitchfork, but this list often feels fake. Like they're trying so hard to include albums nobody has ever heard of that it loses credibility in the end. But let's talk about my safe space, my favorite list of 2024, and that is from Paste Magazine. They strike the perfect balance between highlighting great indie albums and music discovery. It feels intentional without being overwhelming, with shoutouts to Yaya Bay, Michelle, and Wishy. Paste manages to celebrate the incredible music while still feeling accessible. So if you're actually looking for a list that you want to discover new artists without feeling like you need a PhD in music theory, this is the one. My favorite list of the year. And finally, there's Rolling Stone. The most top 40 list of the year. This one feels like corporate placement central. How is this the only list I've seen with Taylor Swift's latest album on? It feels like Rolling Stone went, gotta appease the masses, can't upset the fandom. If you're looking for music discovery, this ain't it. And here's the thing, guys. Ranking music will always be wildly subjective. What hits you might miss me, and that's okay. But these lists, they're conversation starters. They challenge our taste and introduces us to new artists. And let's be real, gives us something to argue about. So whose list did you agree with most? Who got it right? Who missed the mark? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe for more breakdowns like this one. I'll see you next time. Bye.